Destroy your equipment? Let me gather an audience. TLDR. A customer thought he knew better than me and insisted I perform a destructive test to prove me wrong. I wasn't wrong. Background. I used to test circuit breakers for a living. The large industrial versions of what you have in your home electric panel. Like the ones at home. Most industrial circuit breakers have two means of detecting an overcurrent condition. Thermal. Literally an element that heats up for seconds or minutes before opening the beaker. Intended for small to moderate overcurrent events. And magnetic. Reacts almost instantly to very high overcurrent events. For special applications like firefighting pumps. You can buy circuit breakers which have magnetic only. Test methods are specified by the manufacturer and by the International Electrical Testing Association. NETA. Outtail. I was testing a large number of circuit breakers at a customer facility. Customer rep. C. Got used to my pattern of testing a group of thermal elements, allowing them to cool down, and only then testing the magnetic elements. When the fire pump circuit breaker came to my test station and I only tested it for magnetic trip, he objected. C. Hey, why did you skip the thermal? Me. This is a magnetic-only breaker. C. There's no such thing. Me. Here's the manufacturer data showing the magnetic trip curve but not showing a thermal trip curve. C. That doesn't mean it doesn't have a thermal trip. I want it tested. Me. Oh. K. Well, since I don't have a curve from the manufacturer, I don't know how long it should take to trip. How long do you want me to test? C. The NETA testing manual says that without a curve, if it trips in less than 300 seconds it is good. Me. Please sign here that you're making me do this test. C. Okay. Signs the paper, not realizing this was supposed to make him suspicious. Having failed my first attempt to scare him off this foolish path, I try another tactic. Me. On radio. Hey, coworker. I'm about to test the thermal element on a fire pump breaker. You want to watch? Coworker. It doesn't have one. Idiot. You're gonna destroy the customer's breaker. Me. Yeah. I told him that. He doesn't believe me. Coworker. I'm on my way. Coworker arrives and goes to explain to the customer but C. You're both wrong. I'm an engineer and you're just technicians. Do the test. Coworker. We're gonna need you to sign. C. I already signed. Just do the test. So I start the test all morning. The previous thermal tests have been running 8 to 10 seconds before tripping. For this test, 10 seconds pass, then 20. Then at 30 the breaker starts to smoke a little. And by 40 seconds the smoke is pouring out of it and my hand is hovering over the stop button. But I'm not stopping until he admits he's wrong. Because he told me it wouldn't be a failed test until 300 seconds. He gives in just before the 60-second mark. Then I ask, can you bring me the spare breaker from inventory please? This one cannot go back into service, and his face takes on a panicked expression. They didn't have a spare. Good thing the local electrical distributor was open on a Saturday. That's an electrifying game of chicken. I'm surprised he lasted 60 seconds before blinking. The funniest part is the multiple levels of "don't do this" that you and your coworker gave him, that he just refused to listen to. Sometimes the best option is not to play thermonuclear war. Please tell me that you asked him if he wanted a thermal element test for the new breaker. Too bad you couldn't have gotten the engineer's boss to be watching this little vignette winking face. Once anyone asks you to sign something saying you're ordering them to do it, stop and really think if this is what should be done.
You warned him. Oh, well.
So I am confused. Since it has no thermal trip, How do they handle increasing loads causing a thermal runaway like your test? Does your test go well over the normal limits? Can you break this down a bit? As to why it only has a magnetic trip, and how it doesn't get damaged during normal use. CYA. When a certified Idaho 10T orders you to do something that you know will cause damage, get it in writing before doing it. New office policy. Have popcorn on hand for any customers like this. Not for the customers. Rather, it is for your coworkers to eat while they watch the show. Bonus is to have a wizard hat and staff on hand. Have a coworker summon the magic smoke to be released before the test. Another anatomical miracle where that tiny iron ring preventing blood from getting to the brain. I'm an engineer and you're just. As the old saying goes, you can tell an engineer, but you can't tell them much. Reminds me of the time I was working in a retail hardware store. Guy comes in asking for breakers. I ask what type and size. He says the biggest you've got. I ask what the problem is. He says kitchen breaker keeps popping and he just wants it to stop. I try to explain why that's not a good idea. He doesn't want to hear it. I show him the breakers. Get the popcorn ready and start up the police scanner to await the inevitable house fire call. There's a very good reason that technicians get paid more than engineers. Most engineers don't know this little secret. I imagine there's a good reason for that, too. Signed, an engineer who's been around long enough to know. Worked in a factory that made city transit buses. We were finishing off a prototype. One day there was a screaming match because a worker told his foreman. Who told his supervisor? Who told the plant manager that a part couldn't be installed? It was a manifold for the air brakes, about 15 inches long, 8 inches wide, and 5 inches tall, with valves and fittings and hoses. The engineer was the one that started screaming that he knew more than the rest of them put together. That the part was going to go exactly where he instructed, and for everyone else to shut up and just do it. My worker colleague shrugged, and mounted the manifold right where he was told to, directly below the brake pedal. Then the plant manager asked the engineer how he was supposed to get the bus to stop. Fucker stomped off without a word, red-faced, and slammed the door on the way out. After they found a better spot for the manifold, the company had to invest in a ton of time and money to reconfigure the airlines, and hire a new engineer. Laughing face. I love the bit about calling over your coworker.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.